Hello viewers and welcome to another session of Autodesk Civil 3D 2022. In this session, we will move a bit ahead from the assemblies and sub-assemblies, and we will see the corridor variations, how the corridor would react with different assemblies and sub-assemblies. If you remember that previously we created three assemblies. One was for the learning purpose, the second one was with the help of polyline, and the third one was a basic assembly template. We have not tried the second one, which was with the help of polyline. So first, we will remove this existing corridor. Then we will create a new corridor using assembly number 2, which was created using just a polyline. So under layer, we will not create a new one. Instead, we will use the suffix as underscore static. Alignment would be axis 1, profile would be ground, level axis 1, and the assembly would be assembly 2. The target surface would be the natural terrain, and we can press OK then. Once we hit OK, we have to rebuild the corridor. And now you can see these points available at each segment. In order to view in a better way, we have to go towards the object viewer. We can simply right click and then go to object viewer or simply from this tab. Now you can see with the help of polyline, the assembly and sub-assembly created would look like something like this. Let's move ahead, go to corridor. In highway 1, this time we will choose the basic assembly. Under the layer, we will choose the suffix as underscore static, hit OK. We will choose the target surface as natural terrain and then hit OK. Let's rebuild the corridor. Now we have this entire corridor created. Now if we select it and go to object viewer, the scenario would be different. Let's zoom in and see the profile from this point of view. This interface might get a bit messy sometimes. It takes some time to render and it totally depends upon your system specifications. Here you can see the right lane, left lane, the right and left curve, then the platform and slope. Here you can see some things are unnecessary and they could be reduced or removed. So sometimes we had to go for hit and trial error method, and sometimes when we have the complete information of site, things get a bit easier. Now we will remove all of these assemblies and sub-assemblies. Go to assembly, create a new one. This time we will name it as a channel. The type would be other, style would be basic, and we will use all codes. For the layer, we will use the suffix as underscore static and hit OK. Let's find a suitable place to click. Now we have this assembly. Once we hit the assembly, we get the option for these tools. Now we can go for the trench pipes and here we can find the channel. Here it is. Under channel we have different type of tabs. Let's go to parameters. Assign the depth as 1 meter. The bottom width can be changed as well. We can make it 0.5 meters. Remaining parameters can be set as same and then we can hit in the center. Now we have a channel created equally on both sides. Now we can select it, go to subassembly properties, and there we will have multiple options. Like under the information tab, we can change the name. Under parameters, we can set the parameters. And then we have the options for the codes. Under parameters, let's view a few of them. The left back slope width could be changed. We can make it as 1 meter. Similarly, the right back slope width could also be changed to 1 meter. Then we can hit apply and then press OK. Once the modification is done, we can proceed to the next step of creating a corridor. This time, we will keep all the things as same, the corridor style as basic, alignment, profile, everything is same. However, instead of creating a new layer, let's create the suffix as underscore static. Under assembly, we will choose channel and ground level axis 1 as profile. Once we press OK, we have to rebuild the corridor. Let's view the corridor now. Now here you can see this is the channel created. Let's go to object viewer and now we can see this channel. From here you can view it clearly. This channel is now created on this surface. Now let's do some more modifications to have multiple options and different views. Now we'll select this entire assembly and press the delete button to get rid of it. Under assembly, we will create a new assembly. Now we can give a new name like road assembly 1. Everything is by default, so we will change the layer. Instead of new layer, we will use the suffix as underscore static. However, we can create a new layer, but it is not required at this moment. Let's check for the codes, how they would display. These are the different type of codes. All codes with no shading, codes with label. View edit seems fine to me, so let's click OK on this one and place this assembly somewhere at this point. Let's bring up these tools. Under this option, we can change a few parameters. These parameters can also be changed after placement. In that case, we have to first click that subassembly, then go to subassembly properties, and then access the parameters. Now we have placed it on the right side. Here we have this basic curve and cutter. Let's move towards the parameters. We can change the cutter slope. Instead of -6, we can go for a value like -2. After placing on the top node, we can move ahead, look for next subassemblies, like what do we want. If we want a sidewalk, we can simply place it with these parameters, or we can change the parameters, like the buffer width can be changed from 0 to 0.5 for 1 and 2, and the width can be adjusted to 1 meter as well. We can click the top node here, and here we have the sidewalk or a platform. At the end we usually have a slope. Let's change the few parameters like the cut slope, the fill slope, the force slope, the force slope width. Similarly, we have a few more parameters like the bottom width, the back slope, the back slope width, and so on. Once done, we can hit this node. Let's hit the escape key from the keyboard, select the entire right side, click the mirror button, and replicate it on the left side. We can change the names to right and lefts like we have done previously, but let's leave it for now. Simply go towards the corridor. Let's create a new corridor, name it as road corridor 1. Instead of creating a new layer, we can simply add a suffix. The modifier value could be underscore static. Then we can press OK, keep the alignment and profile as axis 1, axis terrain profile, and then after hitting OK, rebuild the corridor. Here we can see there are a few warnings like no side slope intersect found at 2 points. We can see about that later. For now, let's go towards the object viewer and view this corridor. Now you can notice the difference between the previous assemblies and this assembly. Here we have these two lanes, then we have some curb and gutter, then we have a sidewalk, and then definitely there must be a slope. Let's analyze it from this point of view. This rendering can take some time depending upon the project size, type, and your system specifications. Once we are done with analyzing, we can simply go to File, Save as option, and save the file as Lecture 39, as we were doing all the changes in supporting file. Now let's close it and we can call it the day. See you in another session. Till then, take care.